This is CGTN, China Global Television Network.
The countdown to the Beijing Winter Olympics crossed the 100-day mark this week, and athletes, federations and organizers have been intensifying their preparations across the globe. As Beijing prepares to become the first ever host city of the Summer and Winter Olympiad, athletes in Africa too have been putting their best foot forward as they gear up to go for gold on the ice and in the snow. On Sports Scene tonight, we check in on the latest ahead of next year's Winter Showpiece. Hello and welcome to your home of sports news, views and interviews from across the African continent and beyond. This is Sports Scene here on CGTN. I'm Mahia Mutua in Nairobi. Also coming up, Nigeria's history-making bobsled team steps up preparations for Beijing 2022. And we tell you about the para-surfing champion going against the odds in South Africa. Welcome to the program. Now, with less than 100 days left to the Beijing 2022 Olympics, the organizers are confident of hosting a successful event under the pandemic, much like the Tokyo 2020 Games. This will make Beijing the only city to host both the Winter and Summer Games. CGTN's Mike Fox gives us a glimpse of just what to expect come February next year.
Welcome to Beijing, which in February will become the world's first city to host both the Summer and Winter Olympics. Now, the Games in 2008 saw the creation of several new venues around the city, and Beijing 2022 will be no different. And organisers have started 3 competition zones, one in Beijing, another in the city's Yangqing district, and one more in the nearby city of Zhangjiakou. Beijing will host all the ice events, while Zhangjiakou and Yangqing will welcome all the snow events. There are 7 categories of events: skiing, skating, ice hockey, curling, bobsleigh, luge and biathlon, with 109 gold medals on offer, including a further 7 from unprecedented smaller events. They are the women's monobob, the short track speed skating mixed team relay, the ski jumping mixed team, and the freestyle men's and women's skiing big air. Also, we have the freestyle skiing aerials mixed team and the mixed team from the snowboard cross. But that is enough background information for now. Let's actually go inside one of the venues that's going to be used for the Games, the newly named Ice Cube. In 2008, Beijing welcomed everyone by saying "One world, one dream." 14 years later, China's capital will be proclaiming "Together for a shared future," as the legacy from the first Olympics looks set to continue in much colder conditions. Some of the venues are set to be reused, including where I'm standing right now, the Ice Cube, which will host curling, and then at the Winter Paralympic Games 1 month later, wheelchair curling. Excuse me one moment. Not bad. It's been transformed from being the water cube, and underneath me is the 2008 swimming pool, where a certain American swimmer, Michael Phelps, won 8 gold medals. Following the Winter Games, though, it will go back to being the water cube for spring, summer and autumn. But every winter from now on, it will be transformed into being what we're seeing now, the Ice Cube, where members of the public can come and skate. Okay guys, come on, let's go, come on, faster, let's go! There are also some new venues for the Beijing Winter Olympics, including the ice ribbon where I'm standing right now, which is also known as the National Speed Skating Oval, the only newly constructed arena for the Games. It has the largest all-ice design in Asia, with an ice surface area of 12,000 square meters. It's also the first speed skating venue to use carbon dioxide as a refrigerant at a Winter Games. The skating competitions will see a total of 14 gold medals up for grabs, the most at the event. Hi, you think you could win one of them? Well, good luck. Now to the snow events, most of which are going to be outdoors, obviously. The Yangqing competition area will have 3 sports: alpine skiing, bobsleigh and the luge. The ski centre is located at the 2,198-metre peak of Little High Twal Mountain, where 11 alpine skiing gold medals will be awarded. The only bobsleigh and luge track in the country is also located in this competition area, where 10 bobsleigh and luge gold medals will be won. Hi! Pretty fast. The skiing and Nordic combined competitions will be held in Chongli, which is a district in Zhangjiakou, and an hour high-speed train trip from Beijing. Now, before the Winter Olympics, Chongli has already become a popular skiing resort for the public and will continue to be after the Games. So everything's in place, including the venues, but as always, it's the people that make any Olympics. So let's make Beijing 2022 one to remember together. See ya.
Well, bringing it here to the African continent, Ghanaian Olympian Akwasi Frimpong has his eyes set on the 2022 Winter Olympics. He'll be the first skeleton athlete from Ghana to take part in the Games in Beijing and hopes to make it to the podium. CGTN's Nabil Ahmed Rufai reports from Accra.
Akwasi Frimpong made history as the first Ghanaian skeleton athlete to compete at the Olympics in 2018. Now he's stepping up preparations for the Winter Olympics, scheduled for February next year.
During the summer, I prepare mostly through weightlifting and running, just like a sprinter, for the push, which is, some people also call it a start, is the first 50 meters. You have to push the sled, which weighs about 30-35 kilos. You have to push it very fast, the first 50 meters, dive on it, and then from there on, you get to navigate it for about a mile long, about 1,600 meters-ish long on the ice track and the ice channels.
Frimpong moved from Ghana to the Netherlands when he was 8 years old. He started his sports career as a sprint athlete, but has since taken on skeleton athletics in Utah.
In our sport, every corner is different in every world. So there's 17 different ice tracks in the world. Each of these ice courses are different, and some of them have 14 corners, some of them have 18 corners. You have to memorize all these different corners that have different shapes, and the steers, which is how you have to steer these corners, are all different. So it requires a lot of learning, a lot of patience, a lot of focus.
Unlike football, skeleton is not a sport widely known and practiced by Ghanaians.
It looks like a very complex sport. I don't understand it.
Sport suits me well.
It is an interesting sport, but I don't think we'll have the facilities to practice it in Ghana.
While some Ghanaians don't understand what skeleton is all about, they are excited to learn that a son of the soil is making strides in the sport.
Frimpong says there is a need to train more Africans in skeleton. He wants to inspire others, especially Ghanaians, to take it up as an alternative sport.
There's a lot of countries that I have to compete against, and I'm ready to give it all my all, and I'm ready to book a ticket, or at least try to get a representation for Ghana/Africa for the next Winter Olympic Games. It's not going to be easy, but if it was easy, you have more Ghanaians doing it. It's not that easy. So I'm just going to go all out and fight for my country, fight for my continent to be able to get a spot for Africa.
Akwasi Frimpong became the first skeleton athlete from Africa to win an elite skeleton race endorsed by the USA Bobsled and Skeleton Federation in 2020. He says his ultimate goal now is to become Africa's first Winter Olympic medalist. Nabil Ahmed Rufai, CGTN, Accra, Ghana.
Now, ice hockey in South Africa is a sport that hardly gets any recognition, unlike the heavy hitters like rugby, cricket and football. However, the sport is slowly but surely gaining momentum, and after the national women's team won the Tier 3 World Championships, the onus is now on the men's team to do the same. CGTN CS Duplessis has more.
South Africa is not known for freezing winters or an abundance of ice to skate on. The only option is the nearest ice rink, where before it opens at 8 a.m. on weekends, you're bound to find ice hockey teams who have been practicing since 5:30 a.m., fine-tuning their skills.
Ice time is always a challenge, having limited ice time, because obviously the rinks make more money from public sessions, more people come down just for skating. So we only have limited slots per week that we can book as a team.
The COVID-19 pandemic wreaked havoc on the amateur sport and forced many players to hang up their skates. But declining coronavirus cases has seen people dusting off their sticks once again.
COVID did really hit us hard. People had to choose between like food, electricity or ice hockey, which is a tough decision to make. So we did lose quite a few players, but I think as we get back into the swing of things, people's love for the game will really shine through, and then the competition will pick up.
Funding is always an issue, and we're doing private things. When we host a World Championship, we make money out of that, and that goes directly back into the sport. I can also say that the whole of South African Ice Hockey Federation is all volunteers. There's no paying member, and it's all businessmen and people that's involved in the sport, and that makes it, everybody is very passionate about it, and I think that's the key.
The South African national team ranked 42nd in the world and is Africa's only International Ice Hockey Federation member, has recently acquired a new coach in the experienced Bjorn Kinding, who has been tasked with getting the team into the top 32 world rankings, which will allow them to compete for Olympic qualification.
We've been given a goal, and that's to win the World Championship in Cape Town in March. So that is the objective, whether the players like it or not, you know. So now we have to find players who have the same objective. So my first job is to sort things out and see who really is dedicated to go for that goal.
Ice hockey in South Africa has been around since the 1930s. Wherever there's been an ice rink, the sport has been played, but never fully reached its true potential. However, in the past 10 years, the sport has evolved to a point where more men, women, boys and girls are putting on their skates and taking to the ice. And the results are showing as both national teams continue to climb the global rankings, leaving many to believe that there's no reason why South Africa can't finally realize a 90-year-long dream of one day fielding a team at the Winter Olympics. CS du Plessis, CGTN, Johannesburg, South Africa.
Well, we're taking a short break here on the program. Here's what's coming up. Nigeria's history-making bobsled team steps up preparations for Beijing 2022.
Africa is a continent of diversity, with varied climates and enchanting geography, and a people so distinct, but with a shared enduring spirit. We are at the heart of the continent, to bring you the untold stories.
Let's have a look.
We celebrate Africa as it shapes its own destiny.
Tunis, Cairo,
Juba,
Johannesburg, Ethiopia,
Tanzania.
Africa Live. Find your voice.
The greatest journeys, the greatest sights, the greatest adventures.
Here in Qanater, this weir allows the locals to walk on water.
We're far more than just TV news. We're your passport to the wonders of Africa.
To bring you stories of struggle, survival and hope.
So let's explore. CGTN. See the difference.
Welcome back. Now, Nigeria made history by sending the first bobsled team from Africa to the Winter Olympics back in 2018. Now, the side are looking to build on their achievement from Pyeongchang and make additional progress at Beijing next year. CGTN's Deji Badimosi has more.
Before the year 2018, very little was known about the sport of bobsleigh in Nigeria. No one was involved in it. There was no governing body for it in the country. It simply did not exist. But all of that has now changed, and it's all thanks to these three young women who became the first Nigerians and Africans to take part in the sport at the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, flying the flag of Nigeria.
Forever, I will always remember walking into the opening ceremonies for the first time ever as a country representing Nigeria and Africa, waving that flag with all the pride that we had achieved something that no one else had ever done and raised our country to a level of respect that will never be taken away.
3 years on, Shehu Adigun, who used to be a 100-meter hurdler and single-handedly started the process to get Nigeria and Africa's first representation in bobsleigh at the Winter Olympics, is now spearheading the country's effort to make a second appearance at the Winter Games.
Right now we have an active 11 athletes who we are looking to try and qualify for the Olympics. The actual Olympic announcement of who qualifies doesn't come out from the organization until January, because that's when all of the qualifying races will be complete. But right now we actually have a much larger group, actually almost 3 times the size of the group that we qualified with in 2018 are who we are trying to actually take to the Olympics this time around.
Adigun will not be competing this time around, as she would be directing affairs from the technical bench. If she and her team are eventually able to take the 11 athletes to the Winter Games in Beijing, it would be another remarkable achievement for a country and a continent with no facilities for winter sports.
You can't count us out of anything. They didn't think we were going to qualify in 2018, and we qualified 4 athletes, so anything is possible. With respect to the actual difficulty of the sports, it's going to be a challenge, and these athletes are very determined to do it. So I believe in them just as much as they believe in themselves, and I believe that we will have a showing at the Winter Olympics in 2022 for Nigeria as well.
Adigun and her teammates may not have made the medal podium in 2018. She says nothing can be ruled out in 2022.
But sky is the limit. Again, they're faced with a different level of challenges that we were faced with. And at the end of the day, you never know what's possible. Honestly, they could medal. You just never know.
And for the future of the sport and the continent?
I really envision this sport as something that can grow in the continent, because we have a lot of talent in our country as well as on the continent of Africa. And there are just so many ways that we can develop ourselves, that we can create more activities, create more competitive environments and events for our athletes that surround the sport of skeleton and bobsled. So I definitely see this sport getting ready to grow.
Well, the Winter Olympics countdown has excited fans across the globe. Here in Kenya, one of the unlikeliest places you would think of in relation to winter sports, the country's curling team is looking forward to the grand event. The players will not be taking part in the games as their team was only formed in early October. But they hope that the Beijing 2022 Winter Games will be the kind of event that they'll be taking part in the future. And despite the numerous challenges they face, the Kenya curling team members remain optimistic about their journey ahead.
We are really hoping to participate, but I think we are going to need some more help from our government, because we cannot continue practicing here and the game is going to be played on ice. We have to get that. And you see, in Kenya, the only place with ice is Panari, which is 1,000 bob per hour. And looking at our backgrounds, all of us here, no one can afford to pay 1 hour, 1,000 bob every day. Yeah, and 1 hour is very short for this game because the game goes for 3 hours.
Let me tell you one thing. Naturally, Kenyans are athletes, and with minimal support, you will see this game grow very fast, and people will go to the Olympic, and you never know, we will bring medals here with this game. Because, Kenyans are just naturally athletes. They just need the support and the right direction to be managed. And that's all it takes. And we will bring more trophies with this game, I'm sure.
So we need to pile some points. And being we are the second African country playing, so in our continent, we are 2 countries. So this now is going to be left to the World Curling Federation to decide. But now we need to assemble a team, send them anywhere, maybe in Japan, Canada, Australia, for training, or in Europe, for them to be able to train. That's why there's Denmark team here. They have come also in partner to support us, in solidarity, so that we can also grow very fast. They have sacrificed their time just to come. They were very happy to hear that Kenya is one of the countries playing. So we are also targeting the Winter Olympics and the 2024.
Well, warming things up as we move away from the Winter Olympics. Here's what's coming up after this short break. We tell you about the para surfing champion going against the odds in South Africa. Now, South African Caleb Swanepoel lost his leg while body surfing in the country's Western Cape when a great white shark attacked him, severing his right leg above the knee. But the attack didn't stop him from getting back into the ocean. He's since become a three-time South African para surfing champion, a national para swimming champion, and a motivational speaker. CGTN's Julie Shire has more.
My name is Caleb Swanepoel. I am a South African and I am a shark attack survivor. I was body surfing with my brothers. This was in 2015, 27th of June. I was 20 years old. It was a beautiful day and we were catching big waves. And as I came over the crest of one of the waves I was about to catch, that's when I saw a great white shark on the wave that was busy forming. And next thing I knew, this shark just slammed into me. It felt like a car had hit me. Something slammed into my right leg. I was pulled under the water. The first thing I thought was, this is a dream. This isn't real. Being a survivor is something that is hard to define. I think it's important to remind yourself as well that you're not a victim. But in saying that, there's so many beautiful things and moments and memories and people and adventures that have come through this experience. I never surfed before I lost my leg. I was invited to take part in a surfing event which I hadn't surfed before. I remember just loving the challenge of being on a board, being on a wave, and it was tough in the beginning. I found it very challenging. I was frustrated, but I took it on as a new adventure. And I'm so excited because, you know, I get to go and compete overseas this year. I've been selected for the South African team to go and compete at the World Para Surfing Champs in California. I never thought I'd have the opportunity to represent my country and to be able to sing our anthem and to be able to wear the green and gold.
My name is Tasha Mentasti. I am a professional surf coach which specialises in adaptive surfing or parasurfing as it's now known. Caleb has taught me that with a little bit of planning, some ingenuity, we can do anything that we want to really set our mind to, you know. So yes, he's an inspiration. Caleb is an above knee amputee, which means he's missing his knee joint and his ankle joint and now trying to surf with one leg. Caleb's got a good chance. What's happening with parasurfing at the moment, it's a new sport, and Caleb has just changed his category, which is PS Stand 3, which means he's now only competing against people who are above knee amputees.
When you have a disability or you're differently abled, feeling independent is a big thing. It's also made me want to share my story more and show people like, look, even if you are differently abled, even if you have come through a challenge, you can still push yourself, you can still set goals for yourself.
Now, discovering one's talent can be easy for some, while for others it could take them the longest route to finally discover the revelation of who they are. Kenya's Lily Murgor is one such athlete. CGTN's Mohammed Abubakar tells us more.
Impossible is nothing.
Lily Murgor had to take a long route before finally discovering her calling. After clearing high school and lacking fees to pursue her university education, she ended up in a bar as a waitress. However, she managed to find her way onto the track.
My sister was training as an athlete, and I met her during the 2014 December holidays. She advised me to stay here, so I was motivated to join her in training every morning. I gained weight, but nevertheless heed her call. She also gave me a training kit.
After a few practice sessions, she was still unsure of what she wanted. But after a year, she became more focused on the track and decided to perfect her craft.
So in 2015, I turned a leaf in my life and started afresh. My uncle has a training camp and he allowed me to train there, and that's how I became serious with my training.
2 years later, she participated in several local athletics championships. However, her big international break would still have to wait.
2019 was a good year. And at least
2019 was a great year. That's when I took part in several athletic championships. I also traveled to China. It was unbelievable. I had not pictured myself going international.
She won a silver medal in the Nantong Half Marathon in China. The win would then propel her into the world of athletics. Currently, she is preparing for the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon, where she hopes to get more experience ahead of the 2022 Eldoret City Marathon. Internationally, she has her eyes set on participating in the Berlin Marathon in future. Mohamed Abubakar, CGTN.
Finally, Tunisia's 18-year-old Tokyo Olympic gold medalist in the men's 400 meters freestyle has returned home and resumed training. Nobody was watching Ahmed Hafnaoui in lane 8 of the Olympic pool, but all eyes were definitely on the Tunisian teenager at the finish. Experts have hailed his great performance after he beat a field of faster and older swimmers.
Born and raised in a middle-class family in Tunis, Hafnaoui started swimming at 6 years to prepare for becoming a basketball player like his father. However, the talented athlete fell in love with swimming. Now Hafnaoui has become an Olympic champion trained by local coaches.
My achievement is for my country. I'm proud of the Olympic gold medal, but I keep my feet on the ground and in the pool. I'm working harder to achieve even better results. My spirit and morale are high, so is my determination.
Ahmed Ayoub Hafnaoui has started training for the 2021 Swimming World Cup and the 5th FINA World Swimming Championships in the 25-meter pool.
I resumed training on September 1st to prepare for the 2021 Swimming World Cup in Budapest and Doha, or Budapest and Berlin, then the World Swimming Championships in Abu Dhabi.
Tunisian swimming legend and two-time gold medalist Oussama Malouli has hailed Hafnaoui. The country's Olympics committee will support the Tokyo 2020 champion towards realizing his ambitions of defending his title in Paris 2024.
Hafnaoui's performance is the great surprise of the Olympic Games. The swimmer deserved his gold medal. I speak as a Tunisian and fan. The world has celebrated the Tunisian champion's achievement. He needs our backing and support. With hard work and discipline, he could win a new gold medal in Paris 2024.
Despite the economic and social situation in Tunisia, we were able to support our champions. Swimming is a difficult discipline which is dominated by Americans and Australians. Our country lacks the logistical means, but we have a new gold medal. Ayoub is 100% Tunisian. His performance is a Tunisian miracle.
Tunisian President Kais Saied has decorated Ahmed Ayoub Hafnaoui, winner of the gold medal in 400 meters freestyle, with the insignia of the Grand Cordon of the Order of Sports Merit. Swimming experts assert that the delay in the holding of the Summer Olympics from 2020 to 2021 allowed Hafnaoui to better prepare for the biggest sports tournament in the world. The Tunisian champion has committed to swim at Indiana University in the US after getting his baccalaureate in June 2022. Adnan Shawishi, CGTN, Tunis.
And that's all we have for you on this week's edition of Sports Scene. Do remember, you can send your feedback to those contacts on your screen now and follow us on our digital media platforms. I'm Mahia Mutua. From myself and everyone here, thanks for watching.